Welcome everybody. In this episode, I will share some tips and strategies on how to rank up weapons quick in survival mode. Now, if you're crazy like me who decided to rank up every weapon available in my weapons inventory, including the worst or least effective weapons, that works too. It was a fun experience and experimenting all the weapons despite some were dreadful to use in survival mode. There are 5 components I will cover. The first one is for the experienced and advanced players, which I will dive right in so they or you don't have to sit through the entire video. The rest I will provide more details on tips and strategies for those who need more information. So let's begin. The methodology. Simply put, part of the secret is in the 2 kill streaks, sentry guns and cluster bombs. Precision airstrike works too, but for the same price and more kills, cluster bombs are the way to go. Now, to rank up a weapon quick, just equip the weapon you wish to level up while the cluster bombs and or sentry guns are assisting the kills. In this example, you will see how the 2 kill streaks will decimate enemies quick, which not only will your weapons rapidly gain XPs, but also clearing the waves fast as well to move on to the next wave. While playing solo, in one wave, I was able to level the Kilo 141 from 27 to 30 in less than a minute. The other key factor is in the chain of kills with bullets. In this next example, I was able to level up the M91 from 1 to 8 in just over a minute by the chain of kills with the assist of the sentry gun and reloading ammo to retain the streak of kills. Now, this was all planned ahead of time. I knew that wave 15 was going to have 77 enemies, so I saved up and made sure I had the sentry gun, ammo, and a level 1 gun ready. And with armor on the side, of course. Also, just a reminder that the more you level up a weapon, the more XPs are required to unlock the next rank. Another tip I would like to add is that the sentry gun can act as a mini shield, as you can see here. And here, when in need of protection against suicide bombers. Just make sure they don't get past the sentry gun. You can also switch between weapons to rank up each one, as you can see from these examples. Now, depending on the map and where you plan to camp, you don't have to use cluster bombs. If the enemies are indoors or your targets are beyond danger close for cluster bombs, you can buy 2 sentry guns, especially if you're trying to level up a light weapon such as a pistol, or a powerful yet low fire rate like the sniper rifle. Otherwise, 1 sentry gun will do in the early waves if you're working with a weapon from the shotgun, LMG, or assault class. Make sure to pack armor to stay alive, and ammo for the new weapons since they start with low ammo capacity. Special equipment helps also, so load up on proximity mines, molotovs, thermite, or semtex to maintain the streak of kills, or in case you run out of ammo. You can go even further with this method on double XP weekends, daily co-op challenges, XP tokens if you have them from the main menu, and if you unlocked it, the Mo Money perk that you can add to your weapon attachment. Knowing the map is important so you can use the terrain to your advantage when using the kill streaks. The best map that I recommend is Grazna Raid. You can either camp at the car shop or the blue house. For new players, I recommend the blue house to avoid the suicide bombers. The reason Grazna Raid is currently the best is because enemies funnel through one path in a wide open space, which makes it easy for the sentry guns and cluster bombs to work their destruction. Other maps are fine too, since they have safe camping locations so you can easily load up on sentry guns and cluster bombs. If you need to know where the camping locations for other maps, no worries. Those videos are already available to view, so the links are in the description section. Next, the fewer the players, the better. In this example, with 3 other aggressive players fighting over kills, it took me about 40 waves to rank up level 10 to 22 for the PKM. But once they dropped like flies and quit, I was able to replay the game on my own and rank up the PKM to level 36 from wave 5 to 15, which is in just 10 waves. Sometimes I'll load into a map with just one other player, or they all decide to leave, thus leaving the game all to myself. There are some hints to look out for to tell if someone is about to leave the game. Although not always true, they usually spend most of their money before they quit, as you can see here. Other hints to look out for is when the group camps away from you and unfortunately keep dying. Lastly, when they go idle, which the game will boot them in about 60 seconds. If you're a skilled player or lone survivor, you get the game to yourself to rank up your weapons quick, reaping all the kills, which translate into money and XPs. In this example, I was able to rank up the M4 from level 1 to 25 in about 45 minutes. If I were to die and repeat this process 2 or 3 more times, I would have completed all ranks of the M4 in less than 5 hours. And once again, considering that the higher you advance in the level of a weapon, the more XPs you will need to rank up. Camp away from the group if you have to, so that there's an allocated or separate number of enemies coming to you. Pair up with one other player if surviving alone is difficult for you. I recommend no more than 2 players, so both can have a better chance of survival and get a fair amount of kills for money and XPs. Here, the other player and I were camping separately. I believe he was trying to rank up the SPR-208 sniper rifle, while I needed to level up the Kilo 141. Once again, make sure to load up on armor so you won't go down and in need of revival. There is an easy alternative. Save up to buy yourself a Juggernaut suit, camp on your own, and repeatedly use the Juggernaut suit until you reach wave 25, and or depending on the kills you get per wave, to generate enough money to buy sentry guns or cluster bombs to rank up your weapons. With this method, you end up saving lots of money from not having to refill ammo and armor. Limitations. There is a limit to ranking up weapons per game. and it involves the number of enemy kills. My theory is the XP value drops after 800 kills. The XP value drops to 0 or stops after 1200 kills. In other words, if you try to play any further, your weapon will not gain any XPs. In this example, I was able to rank up the M13 from level 1 to 34. Wave 36 was the last rank up. After clearing several more waves, I thought I reached the limit on the weapon, so I went to buy level 1 Desert Eagle to rank up. Once again, after clearing some waves, no progress appeared. So to resolve this, I had to die and replay the game. As you can see, it works again. Now, if you're playing with other players, the threshold or kill limit is the same, but your weapons will rank up further in the waves because you're sharing the kills, and it takes longer for you and other players to reach 1200 kills. To know if you have completed all levels of a weapon, it's the Necropolis icon. When you see that icon appear on screen, it means you have completed all levels for that weapon, and it's time to switch or buy another weapon to rank up. Other tips: start the game as usual by loading up your most powerful weapon against juggernauts or hordes of enemies so you can survive and make some money. I usually stick with the free PKM and Model 60 from the enemies because I am frugal and that saves me $5,000 early in the waves. With the money I can use it towards upgrades and attachments or double the lethal equipment early on. With the increase in helos, and since you need to shop at the Killstreak store quite often, you can swap out a weapon on the ground to buy the Helo launcher, cruise missile, or AC-130. The cruise missile can be costly if you keep missing your target. The AC-130 is costly as well, but you can destroy the helo easily with the 25mm Gatling gun. Without this method of speed ranking, I wouldn't be interested and have the opportunity to experience and enjoy every weapon made for this game. Well, most weapons at least. That concludes this video. Happy ranking, and see you in the next episode.